All right, so a guy sent me this message that I'm putting up on the screen, and I asked him back, like, okay, well, what exactly did you try, or something like that, and he's like, well, I haven't really talked to that many girls. I'm sure everything will be fine. I'll just wait for somebody to come along. I just need to keep my confidence up. And I didn't want this right here to be a video where I'm just like complaining about this guy's mindset, because that's what I wanted to do. Because, and I think that every time that I want to complain about somebody's mindset, it's because at one point or the other, or at one point in time, I had that mindset. Or maybe sometimes I still do that. I still take responsibility and put it on something else, or leave it up to the universe, to just leave it up to chance to make something happen. So in this guy's case, he said this basically, like, I'm just gonna keep my confidence up, and the right girl will come along. And in my head, I'm just like, man. And I was trying to think, why do I have that reaction? Like, man. When I think about it, I think the most honest answer is because I know that if you wait, you waste a lot of time waiting for the right girl to come along. The next time I go hang out with my friends, maybe somebody's gonna have a friend who's a girl invited into the friend group, and maybe I'll meet a girl there. Maybe I'll meet a girl at a party. Maybe I'll just meet a girl somewhere at work, out after work, at the bar. It'll just happen. The problem with this mindset is, I think, very obvious. You're leaving it up to chance. You're not actually taking your life in your own hands. And I think the reason that I have that response to that, man, is because whenever I leave my life, or the results of my life, up to chance, either I lose a bunch of time and nothing happens, or eventually somebody else just gives me something to do, right? It's like if you don't apply for the job that you want, eventually your dad or somebody's gonna come around and be like, hey, you bum, get a job, get this job here. My friend at work said he wants you to get this job. And then, you just end up with some job that you don't even want, that your dad's friend just gave you, and now you're living a life that you don't want, all because you went, well, maybe the right job will come along, maybe the right thing will come along. And did the right thing come along? Maybe you love that job, but why leave it up to chance? How can the people around you trust you? There's responsibilities that you have. So if you don't have a girlfriend, and if you don't have somebody in your life that you like, it's your responsibility to find that person. So I think I articulated that fairly well. I was thinking maybe I would have to redo this video at some point. But in my head, I was like, okay, to organize this video, let me just put it in a couple of concepts of why this mindset is not a good idea. So one, it leaves responsibility in somebody else's hands, or in the world's hands, when you just go, okay, I'm just gonna wait for the right person to come along. And if you didn't fall for your high school sweetheart, if you didn't get lucky, you're not dating the person that you met when you were 16, 17, 18, and now you're 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and onward, and you're getting into adulthood, or you're well into adulthood, and you still haven't met the right person, well, or you still just don't have the dating life that you want, what makes more sense? To say, okay, well, I'll just wait for the right person to come along, or how can I make sure that I'm going to meet the right person? And there's a couple of different ways to do that. The most obvious way is to put yourself in situations where you can meet a person that you really like. The second thing is this. If you haven't met that person yet, and you've had opportunities to, then this is a hard pill to swallow for some people. For other people, it's easy. It's just like, oh, well, duh. You're not doing things that attract that person that you want in your life. You're not being the type of person that woman would go out with. Now, if a guy comes up to me and says, okay, I tried some of your tactics, right? Tactics. I tried some of your ways of speaking to girls, right? To be more persuasive. No game in the world is going to work for you if I look at you and you're out of shape, you don't look passionate about life, you're not doing things that you like in life, you don't take care of yourself, your health, you're going to bed way too late and not getting a lot of sleep because you're playing video games all night, you're not ambitious to improve your life in any way, shape, or form, you're not ambitious to improve yourself in any way, shape, or form, you're not trying new things in life to shape yourself into a more capable man. Like, if you're just not doing things to better yourself, and it shows, you know, by the fact that you're out of shape, or you're not holding yourself confidently, the way that you talk, like it doesn't say like, yo, I'm confident in myself because I've put in work to myself, or I know where I'm headed in life, I have a plan. If there's not something about you that tells the girl like, okay, well, this guy's going somewhere in life, it would be good for me to be with this guy. If you don't have those qualities, no game in the world is going to work for you, because you can't fake who you are. So that's why waiting for somebody to come around is not necessarily going to work. Because, like, let's say you live out in the middle of a place where there's no people. There's no people around you. You live in a cornfield. The years pass, you don't even know what women are attracted to, but then a woman comes along and then she meets you, and you haven't really spent the last couple of years doing anything productive for yourself. You don't even have a job. You don't even help take care of the cornfield. Why would she choose to be with you? And this isn't like a shame thing. This isn't like, oh, you're a loser. No, it's not that at all. I'm asking like a practical question. Like, think of it from her perspective. Like, why is she going to be attracted to a guy? Why is she going to want to be with a guy who is not doing anything with his life? So if you're not the type of guy who women are attracted to, you have to change. And for men, fortunately for us, you hear about these things, right? Like, men peak when they're in their late 30s or 40s or even sometimes 50s. The reason for that is because women are typically attracted to men with, one, ambition. If you're young, you have to know where you're going. At least like pick a direction and start working towards it. And two, a man who's been through some shit. Because that's a safer man to be with. If you've been through some shit in your life, if you've experienced some things, then you're not gonna freak out when something catastrophic happens in your life. You're like a stone. You're like a strong stone of a man. The third thing, here's a reality. There are other men who are not saying that. There are other men who are not saying like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the right girl to come along. The image that I get in my head when I hear that, I don't know if you're watching this, I don't know what you're hearing or what you're seeing, but when I hear this message or read it, what I see is a man who's just kind of sitting there at home, you know, not really doing it, like just kind of going to his 9 to 5, and then he comes home, and then he just sits, watches TV. Maybe on Friday he goes out with the boys, and he's just like a nice guy, and he's just waiting for something to happen in life, because, you know, you just get lucky, right? And that's how life works. You don't really have to do anything. Everybody just deserves a partner, and, you know, the right one will just come along. Time's going by, and that guy's doing that. There's another guy who's in the gym, who's going out, getting rejected at the club, and then going home and saying, why did I get rejected? Okay, maybe I should be a little bit more assertive. And he goes out again, and he's a little bit too assertive. He's like, okay, that didn't work. Maybe I need to get a coach. He gets a coach. Somebody gives him feedback, you know, or he figures it out on his own, or a friend gives him feedback. Like, he gets feedback from a girl, whatever. And he starts getting better at talking to women. And he keeps going to the gym. He keeps getting in shape. And he's got direction in life. He has an idea of what he wants to do with the rest of his life. So that he's in like financial position, or so that he has like a house in a cool area that has a lot of resources around it, and he feels safe with himself, and he's a resourceful man, and he keeps building himself, and he keeps building his life, and him and the people around him are going to be happy and secure. And he's got a plan, and he's ambitious. And if he's young, maybe he hasn't built it yet. He hasn't built that life yet, but he's on his way. There's a guy doing that. And over time, that guy's going to get better and better and better. And then maybe someday that girl that you want to be with, to the guy who's just waiting for somebody to come along, that girl's going to make a decision. She's going to make a decision of which guy she's going to be with. And I'm just saying, like, think practically, like, which guy realistically is she going to choose? And you can choose which guy you want to be, depending on how you live your life. All right, so the end of that might have seemed a little dramatic, but hopefully it got you to think. I am looking for one person to work with this semester. What am I, in college? I'm looking for one person to work with this month who I want to change their life for the better. You don't have to watch this last part unless you are a shy person who wants to stop being shy, and you feel like you deserve more in life. You want to earn more in life as far as friends, dates, romantic partners go. You just want to feel like you can shoot your shot and not really worry about it. One thing that I value is going to any place and being able to walk up and just meet anybody. I'm very curious about other people. I'm very curious about other places. I love adventure, and I'd hate to see somebody not live that life that they want because they're too shy to do so, or because they're too timid or afraid to do so, because they're not comfortable meeting other people or going to new places or trying new things. So if you want to feel more of that in life, and you want to get over that fear, particularly if you want to get over social anxiety, and you want to feel what I've heard some people call as social freedom, then reach out to me directly and we'll see if you're a good fit.